y'all, this is Reaper. I'm coming back to you today to bring you the updated version from DragonHold of my DragonKnight tank. Sorry it's a little late, but I've been extremely sick. I'm gonna apologize for the allergies again. I've had a lot of issues with them. Quick look at the character sheet. As you can see, my resistances are right at cap on some of them. This is all before my food wears out. I have 64 in health. I run the Astronaut, which is magic recovery. Stage 4 vampire. I run red Frothgar for my drink. It gives you health and magic recovery. My magic recovery on her is 2100, right close to 22. This build is all based on health and magic recovery. You get your stamina back from doing your heavy attacks and your light attacks in between. Inventory. Alright, some of my stuff is not golded out still, some of it, so just bear with me. I run Alkosh as my main tank set. I used weakening enchants on the front bar, max stamina with sturdy on the shield. My ice staff is infused with crusher enchant on the back bar. I run mighty Chudan. My head, chest, and legs are infused. The other ones are sturdy with all tri-stack glyphs. And I also run Yonokrin. Yonokrin comes out of Sunspire. It helps your DPS with their damage. It's a really good buff set that you need, and need at least one person running Yonokrin. My necklaces are all magic recovery with a healthy enchant. You have to transmute these, so at least have 150 already. Transmute crystals ready to go as soon as you get this. Yonokrin, Plague Doctor, Olo I use in 4-man content when I do not run with a healer. You also have to transmute these because it is a light set. I don't even remember the actual trait that they drop in. Torque's Pact, it is a craftable set. It is one of your other go-to sets that you need as a tank. Eben is another go-to set as a tank. It gives you the health taken, increasing the health of your group members. Battalion Defender, I use it in 4-man content when I do not run a healer. Like I said, some of this stuff I do not have golded out, so yeah. Another set that I run whenever I need to run high health builds is Green Pact, and you have to have a food buff active with this. I have started running your Smoked Bear Hunch, which comes from Hrothgar. I have also tried the new one that is the skulls that dropped in the Halloween event. It runs pretty good too. So whenever you put your Plague Doctor and your Green Pact on and you have a food buff, not a drink, a food buff active, your health is actually increased. And it runs really good with like Black Rose Prison Vet. Anywhere that you have to have a high health build content. I run tri-stat pots, so you get your your health, health recovery, magic, magic recovery, stamina, and stamina recovery. So there is another way that you can get your stamina recovery and your health recovery also that does not include in your character sheet. There is a few more sets that I'm trying to get to add to this. I've not got them farmed yet. I'm also working on a Nightblade tank as we speak. That has been the one go-to that a lot of in-game trials want to have a Nightblade tank because it has all the damage mitigation to it. But anyways, I will bring you later on the Nightblade tank whenever I get it built and get it up to par where I need it to be. Alright, let's go over the skills really quick. I'm trying to hurry as quick as I can because I'm going to include, you know, content that I'm actually running with her and change my sets and stuff, so, and go back into it again. My sets, or my skills, is front bar. I have green dragon blood, absorb missile. You can use either morph of this. It just depends on which one your preference is, but I've chose the absorb missile. Igneous shield, pierce armor, and heroic slash, and magma shell. Your magma shell I can also replace with replenishing barrier, which is also gives you back your magic whenever it pops. You also restore ultimate whenever it is also replenished also. The way that I've got this one built, I run continuously to where I do not run out of magic unless I'm having to pull a lot of enemies in, and I will go into it and tell you here in just a few. Aggressive Warhorn is another one that I use as a ultimate. It helps boost your DPS. And it is one of your stability ultimates that you need to have, either front bar or back bar. I back bar it on my staff bar. If you do run your replenishing, you need to have it on your front bar for your magic recovery. This one is spelled Shield Discipline. It is the ultimate that comes out of your sword and board. I run it in content that is going to be extremely hard that I do not want to die. It actually helps. Magma Shell helps. Magma Shell is from the Earthen Heart. It's like God mode to you. You really need it. Ferocious Sleep I have just on there whenever I go to Cyrodiil and want to get my tunes up to tier level 1 for my transmute crystals. So my back bar, of course, is Aggressive Warhorn as the ultimate. You have your Blockade of Frost. On your staff, whenever you're using your staff, I do not do this. A lot of people may, and I just don't, because I don't want to use magic when I'm blocking. So whenever you use your back bar, you want to put your elemental blockade. I do not put this one in here at all, because while you have a frost staff equipped, blocking costs magic instead of stamina. You may think I'm crazy because, yeah, frost staff taunts, yes, but you have your inner rage for it, which is I'm fixing to go over here in just a few. But you want to keep this one out of it as much as possible if you can, because you're really not going to use your ice staff in a way to taunt. You're just using it for the elemental blockade in this one. I said you could do it the other way if you want to, but this is just the way that I chose, and I chose not to put them in, because if you are being the off tank you could accidentally taunt the boss instead of, you know, the taunt being on the main boss or main tank. So I do not put it in for that reason also. And the magic blocking would be the other thing. I use Inner Rage for your ranged taunt. You use Choke and Talons to talon your enemies down. And this one is a new one for this patch. I've used Razor Caltrops. This is one of my other flex sections. But the Razor Caltrops, if you pull the enemies in, you're not going to sit and poke each individual enemy that you pull in to be around you for your DDs. This is a really good one that you want to do with trash mobs, especially if you're going to run a trial where there's a lot of trash mobs. You want to put this on. If you're running something that is just like single ones and you know you're only going to be messing with the bosses, you can interchange this one out with Equilibrium, which is in your Mage's Guild. Your Equilibrium, and I morphed it to Balance. It does use health, so you have to kind of watch how you use this, but it restores your magic. And you gain major resolve, and increasing your physical and spell resistance also after the exchange. So this one is a really good one to use whenever you're having to chain in a lot of ads like Black Rose Prison, where you're continuously doing it non-stop. So I mean, it's just constant rotation. But the Caltrops is what you want to use in place of it. You and the healers will interchange in and out on which one uses when, because your healers also runs it to help with mobs and the debuffing. And then of course you got your chains, Unrelenting Grip. This is your one go-to thing as a DK tank, is you need to make sure that you have everything changed in Talon down. Some of the other ones, the Engulfing Flames took off because you have to have spell damage. Your spell damage has to be so high in order to use it now. It does no longer buff your group the way that it was used before that I used it. Alright, I've got a lot of these skills that I've got purchased. Some of them I've only used during certain events or certain things. Volatile Armor is the way that I chose, and it's only up to 3 because I really don't use it that much, because I use Mighty Chudan as my Monster Helm set. But anything, if I go with anything other than Mighty Chudan, I always want to use my spikes, and this will be in place of one of your flex sections. So therefore my triangle is my flex section on both sides. Protective Plate, I do have it in some of them that you're going to get snares, so whenever you're running 4-mans or other ones that you can't get your snare off of, you want to make sure that you have it in your flex section, because it does keep the snares off of you. Deep Breath, it sets the enemies off balance, but which is your healers are supposed to be doing it with lightning staffs whenever they use the lightning staff and stuff. So I mean, it's up to you whichever way you want to run it. It just depends on a lot of people how they play. I just don't use it very often, but it probably would be a good one to use whenever you do not have a healer, if you do not run a lightning staff also, which is I do have lightning staffs also. So I mean, it just depends on whichever way that you want to go. Do you want to use a spot for offsetting, or do you want to use your staff place for offsetting? Your heroic slash, I will tell you, is your heroic slash and pierce armor is the ones that you absolutely need as a tank. Your heroic slash afflicts the enemies with minor maim, reducing their damage done. So you want to keep this up all the time that you can. Plus, you're gonna be getting back ultimate every 1.5 seconds for 12 seconds. So when you see this actually going off of the debuffs, you need to make sure you have it right back on. Shield Assault. Your Shield Assault is used if you are not a Nightblade tank, of course. Shield Assault is used in like Halls of Application. To whenever, if you're the main tank, he will sling you back in the middle of the area in the crossways. As soon as you get up, you have to be right back at the boss or he jumps. So this is one of them that you want to use to get there as soon as possible. So it would be one of your flex areas that you need to put it in. Pulsar. Whenever you have a lot of trash mobs in trash area, you can either use your ice staff or your lightning staff, whichever one. And this afflicts the enemies that are nearby you within a 6-meter radius with minor mangle, reducing their health by 10%. This is another one that I use as a flex. Depending on if I'm off tank, main tank, if there's going to be a lot of ads. So it's totally up to you. You just have to learn how to use them and which ways to use them. There's a lot of different ways that you could do your tank. So, Immovable, it is one of the other ones that you can use. But it makes you immune to knockbacks and disabling effects, but your movement speed is decreased. Or is decreased 65% for the duration that it's on. So don't use it very often. Very, very often. I would use a reflective plate more. That's just the way, the more that I did. Before I used Igneous Drain on my front bar where my Absorb Missile is. You can still do it, but the Absorb Missile is your actually go-to. You can try to fit it in wherever you need to, or like if you're the off tank and you're not going to be messing with a lot of incoming damage to you, like the harmful effects, you can run this instead. That way you can keep your Warhorn active more often, because you do gain 5 ultimate every 1 second for 3 seconds. So you have a chance to get 15 ultimate within 3 seconds. And with a DK that is actually viable, you need it a lot, because as soon as you pop a ulti, you get all 3 of your resources back. So that would be one other way that you can just keep your Warhorn active, or if you need that little oh shit heal burst, you know, like you're gonna die type thing, you can use your God mode is what we call them, which is your magma shell. Another one is Elusive Mist. It works good with the axes in VAA. It helps mitigate some of the damage that's incoming to you, and it increases your movement speed to where you can get out quicker. Turn Evil, it's a Circle of Protection morph. This one is another one that is optimal use, and a lot of people use it in Hoth to help with the group, with the minor protection for your group. And of course balance, we've already went over it. And then Time Freeze. I've got it purchased because you only use it in certain situations. Like some people use it for different things, but I've only used it like once or twice because of course I've got the talents. Overflowing Altar, this uses health, but if you're in 4-man, this is a lifesaver because it helps heal your allies that's around you. and that it lasts for 30 seconds, which is a really good thing that it does. But like I said, if you use this and your balance, you need to make sure that your health is actually stays up completely, because this does use health, both of them. Trapping web, I've not got it morphed yet, but this is one of them that will actually help your DDs. And especially with this patch, everybody's trying to run Loki. This is another synergy that you can give off to your DDs that run Loki, which is your stamina users. So whenever you use it, it sets off the synergy. They use it, they boost their DPS. So anything that you can help your DPS, please, by all means, do it. Because the quicker they kill shit, the easier it is on you. That's just my opinion. And it's coming from a tank that's been with a lot of stuff. So, of course, in a rage, bone surge. It's from your bone shield morph. I use this in 4-man content, certain situations, so whenever we don't want to die, I use it, and it helps shield the whole group if they're close enough to do the synergies. Rapid maneuver, I just use it in Cyrodiil whenever I'm over there to get places real quick. Purge. Purge is another good one that you need. It's out of the support tree, and you will definitely need to be running it probably in half. Anything that has removable effects that you are asked to use it, please use it. It does use a lot of magic, but with the way that it is built, the 8,000 magic just really is not that much to you, if that makes sense. I mean, just depends how you look at it. This one though is actually going to help your group, so everything that is related to this tank is going to be helping your group the way that it is set up. But this removes 3 negative effects immediately, so I mean, it's like the poisons, it's the bleeding, the, you know, anything that's similar to that, it's going to relieve it off of you really quick. And Mystic Guard. This one in situations is very, very helpful. We have used it in Sunspire, just testing stuff out. It does work really well. But if you do vet, your tanks are apart. They're not close together. So I mean, normal content would be okay to use it on. A lot of other ones use it from tank to healer. So I mean, it's just up to you which one. But it does work in really well in other circumstances. So absolutely have it purchased. The champion points. Your red tree is always going to change whenever, depending on content, but I think I've got this one pretty much where it's well-rounded just for this. I run 72 ironclad, 51 hardy, 52 elemental, 41 thick-skinned, 22 heavy armor, 32 quick recovery. But like I said, this tree is always going to change depending on your content. So when I run Vet Sunspire, the Elemental Defender, I have at least 70 something in it. I've been kind of playing with it, and your thick skinned is one of them that you need that is in there, because you, as main tank, have a lot of bleed damage that's coming from the dragons. Went on to the green tree, the tower. I have 28 in Warlord. I mean, you break free, but not a lot. So your stamina and stuff would be actually one of them with your heavy attacks and stuff that you need. So I've got 56 in tenacity, increasing in magic recovery, which is Arcanist. Stamina recovery. I don't have that much in the stamina recovery simply because you can heavy attack and get it back. This is one reason why I've got it, because you gain 2 ultimate, activate a synergy ability, so every time that I activate a synergy ability I get back 2 ultimate, and then that's just the mounting speed. Reduces gathering time, plentiful harvest. I have 72 in reduced block cost, which is 23% block cost reduction. In the dodge roll I have 16 in it because you don't really dodge roll that often. This one is one of them that I have in here for the treasure chest also, but I mean, as of course as a tank you're gonna need these in here. I have 75 in Blessed in the Apprentice Blue Tree, 72 in Elfborn. These you can put just about just wherever you want to. It just depends on how you want to set it up. 59 in Staff, 59 in Physical. I do have it in this one because we do use the sword and board. Increasing your damage done, direct damage, Master at Arms. And then this Blue Tree I absolutely have nothing in because there's really nothing that you need in here. Alright guys, I hope y'all find this actually better than the last one maybe. But I will be adding some more videos in with this one, so it will take me a day or two to add to it and to get it set up, and then it will be on YouTube. So I hope y'all enjoy and hope it helps. Thank you.
The warrior and his army.